Hi Pisces, Trishna here. Welcome to your December 2019 general reading. So what I'm feeling for you is I feel like you've been dealing with a lot of sadness, depression, a lot of stress, maybe some disappointment. You've been dealing with a lot of that for a little while now, and I feel like you're finally starting to feel better. I feel like you're finally starting to feel a little excited again. You're finally starting to look forward in your life. You are If you've given up on your dreams or if you've forgotten about your dreams and haven't been working on them, I feel like you're starting to dream again. So I feel like you're in a much better place now than you have been in a while. And it's like you're letting go of a lot of stress, a lot of baggage that you used to carry, and you're doing better. Life looks brighter. You're looking forward to what's coming next for you. So I feel like that's really good. That's really positive. And I feel like as you go through December, the month's going to continue to get better for you as you continue to allow yourself to feel better and allow your spirit to soar. Because as you let go of the sadness and the depression, your spirit will naturally soar on its own because there's nothing holding it down anymore. And so as long as you just allow that to happen and allow the month to just keep going as it is, I feel like you're going to be feeling a lot better towards the end of the month than you do now, and I feel like you're already starting to feel better than you have in a while. In terms of what you need to know for December, I feel like if you're going to be spending time with family or even friends around the holidays, I think that there may be somebody who makes fun of you or makes some kinds of joking comments around you or about you or to you. And I feel like it's really important that you know that this person does not mean any of those as truth or fact. They are truly joking, they're truly just kidding around, they're just trying to poke fun, they're just trying to have fun, have a good time with you, and that's all that it is. They're not trying to hurt you, they're not trying to make you feel bad, they're not trying to make you realize you have faults that you don't have, or maybe they're not trying to make you realize that you have faults that you don't realize that you have. All of it is going to be done with positivity, so really make sure that you take it that way. Don't take anything that they say to heart. And I feel like another thing that you need to know for this month is that this is your chance to free yourself. This is a month when you get to free yourself from past baggage, from all the emotional burdens that you've been carrying for yourself on your shoulders. You're finally able to free yourself from all of that emotional depression that you have been dealing with. And you do that by not taking things personally, by seeing things through a lighter lens than you have. Don't see things seriously, see things as jest, as play, and that is your way to free yourself from all this emotional turmoil that you've been dealing with that has been caused by things in the external environment, but that has all been almost entirely done within the space of your own mind. Like, yes, things have caused you to feel depressed or sad or stressed. That's real, but the amount of sadness and depression and stress that you've been feeling does not match the reality that is causing it. Like, you've been feeling so much of it and you're finally letting it go. You've been doing the internal work. Let your spirit soar as it will. That's how you make this month better. And also let people, if somebody's going to joke with you, take it as a joke. Do not take it personally, and that will help you continue to release the depression and stress and anxiety that you've been dealing with, and ensure that you have a really good month, that you free yourself from all of this emotional turmoil and stress and baggage that you have been living with. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably already know that I'm not really a tarot reader, but I decided to go ahead and buy a tarot deck, and I pulled some cards for you. I have 3 cards, and in most of the videos that I've been doing, the cards very much in line with what I already talked about in the intuitive portion of this. Your cards are like adding in a lot of new information. It's almost like a second reading. So this will be really interesting. So I'm going to share what the cards are, and then I'm going to read them intuitively and share what I'm seeing in the cards. So the first card that you got was the Two of Cups, followed by the Three of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Wands. So what I'm feeling here is the Two of Cups came out reversed, and what that basically tells me is I feel like maybe this is a romantic situation for some of you where you were really close to somebody else. Maybe you were in a really nice, wonderful, loving relationship that was really working or would have worked really well together. But then there was this demon or this evil force or this negative entity of some kind, something very negative that was separate from the two of you, somehow came in between the two of you and interfered with everything. And the two of you could have really had something special if it were not for this external negative demon or entity or evil force of some kind that really messed things up and made things very very disappointing. And you may still be with this person or you may not. If you are with this person, it's nice that you're with them, but it almost feels like you're not entirely together somehow. So this may be what has been causing a lot of the stress and the turmoil in your life, because this person is really kind, is really, really nice, is really wonderful, and you really had something special together, and it's just so disappointing that something had to get in the way of something that could have been amazing otherwise. And you may have even had plans to maybe buy a house together, to move in together, that now just feels so distant because of whatever got in the way of the two of you that really didn't need to get in the way of the two of you. Because the relationship between the two of you is amazing, but then there's this, it's an external something that somehow lodged its way in. And maybe that external thing affected you, and so you're the one that has kind of stepped away a little bit. Or maybe it affected them and maybe they're stepped away, or you're together, but there's a distance there. There's some kind of disconnection there because of this whole situation. So, but it gets better, okay? So we're not done with the cards. So then the second card was a Three of Pentacles. And that tells me that maybe some kind of decision was made, whether by you or this other person, or if this is not a love situation, however this applies to your situation. Maybe like a colleague or an employee or a boss or something like that, family member. Some decision was made, and you or the other person, I feel like this may be the other person, is wondering how do people think about this? Like, what do other people think about this choice? What do they think about this situation? What are they saying behind the scenes or even to their face? How are they measuring this? How are they judging this? Did I make the right choice? Was this the right decision? And so there's a lot of wondering what other people are thinking and maybe hearing what other people are thinking and questioning this choice that has been made. More likely by the other person, but it could be by you. So the final card is the Ace of Wands, and I feel like this is where things start to get positive. The Ace of Wands, to me, again, I'm reading this intuitively, is showing me, this may also be the actual meaning of the card, I'm not sure, but it's showing me that something is going to be given to you or to this situation or to this other person. There's going to be some kind of gift or some kind of opportunity. Something is going to intervene. Some kind of other external force is going to intervene, and it's going to change things. It's going to completely shift things. It's going to create opportunities that were not there before. Something is going to step in that allows for the opportunity for everything to change. Like, something is going to step in that can possibly change everything in your scenario for the better, is what I feel. So I did pull a clarifying card, and actually two clarifying cards for that Ace of Wands, that opportunity. Like, what is that opportunity that's going to step in? And I think it's a someone. It's not something that's going to step in. It's a someone that I think is going to step in that will change things. Before I get into that, though, I also want to say that when it comes to the Three of Pentacles and your partner most likely wondering what other people are thinking, what their opinions are, and what people are saying maybe behind their back about the choice that they made or what they're even saying to their face, I feel like they are not at all thinking about what you think about all of this and what your opinion is. I feel like they feel very comfortable with you, and they know your thoughts and they know your feelings, and they feel very safe with you and your opinions and your thoughts on all of this. So I feel like that's something that you also need to know. So the clarifying card that I got for the Ace of Wands was the World card, and then I tried to clarify that a little bit further, and I got the Two of Swords. And the reason why I did that was because I am reading this intuitively. Now, the World card, when you read it by what the card is supposed to mean, is a really, really positive card. It's a card that essentially means new beginnings, and I think it really means getting a lot of what it is that you want to have, getting the end result that you desire. When I read this intuitively, though, what I feel is, again, I'm sensing a lot of like this dark energy that is involved, I do feel like it is somewhat faded. I feel like your partner, if it is them who has been dealing with this dark energy, I feel like this maybe distance that's been created between the two of you as a result of all of this, it has given them perspective, has allowed them to step away, and they're feeling a lot better. However, I feel like you feel very trapped by the situation. So even if the situation, this negative energy or entity, or whatever this is, even if it impacted your partner more, I feel like you feel very trapped by it. And even though it impacted them more and now they found some space or some relief from it, you feel trapped by it. And I think that your partner may be the one that's feeling better from all of this, and they're really not paying you as much attention as they should. And so the thing that's going to step in is I feel like it's somebody else who's going to have a talk with your partner to kind of put some sense into them, to kind of make them think differently or make them aware of what you're having to deal with through all of this, because your partner's kind of ignoring that or like not paying attention to that or not really around that to be able to pick up on the fact that you're not really doing that well. So I think somebody's going to talk to your partner. I think that it may take your partner maybe 2 of these conversations to really understand and to actually look at what's going on with you and what you are going through as a result of this. So the World card is really positive, but I feel like from an intuitive sense, there's still a journey here to go. Like obviously things are going to be leading in a positive way because you got a very positive card, but there are steps here. Like your partner's feeling better, but somebody needs to talk to them to make them aware of the fact that you feel trapped. And that may take them a couple times of hearing that to be able to finally give you the attention that you deserve and to like look at this and like have compassion for your current situation. So that's why I pulled this 2 of Swords card, because I want to get a little bit more on that and what I get from that. So 2 of Swords is basically when somebody is on guard and they have a blindfold on that they, I think, are keeping on themselves, and they are not, they could take it off, but they're choosing not to because maybe they don't want to make a decision. What I feel from this is I feel like your partner is going to be able to take off their blindfold and see things as they really are. I do feel like they are going to be a little more on guard still, so they're going to be able to see things as they are. They're not going to have the blindfold like this card indicates, because somebody's going to talk to them and make them aware. But they are going to be a little bit on guard. I do see the potential, though, for them to let down their guard and maybe open up their heart again. So I do feel like this is leading to positive things, but it is, like I was saying before, a journey. The other thing that I felt when I was looking at the Ace of Wands was I felt like we talked a little bit earlier with the first card, the 2 of Cups, about how you had plans to buy a house together, move in together, or have some kind of new level of your relationship or some new level of commitment in your relationship that now feels so distant. It feels like this very distant memory that you're just not in that place anymore. So much has happened that it just feels so far in the past, like something that, yeah, like it feels so distant. But I felt like with the Ace of Wands that whatever this opportunity that comes in, that steps in, whether it's a person or something else that steps in to the situation that changes or has the potential to change everything, the direction of everything, and maybe how your partner is dealing with things or what they're thinking about. I feel like while that may not look like the future that you wanted, like maybe, if you were thinking about a house, the Ace of Wands opens that opportunity up again to have a house, to move in again, to have whatever it is that you wanted before, but it's very vague. Whereas before it was like, yeah, we're going to do this. Now it's like the potential is there, but it still has room to be formed. And so this Ace of Wands basically reopens the door to the things that you wanted before. And it may not be as specific, but that may not be a bad thing, because whereas before you may have been wanting to get like a little house, now you may be wanting to get a bigger house or get a castle or something like that, basically expanding on what the previous vision was. So the Ace of Wands doesn't bring specifics, but it brings to the table more potential than what the relationship held before. So that is something really positive. Now, I decided to pull 2 more cards because I wasn't really satisfied with how, where this reading ended. I wanted to see where else is this gonna go. So eventually, and I say eventually, but I feel like this could all really happen this month, in December. Or, yeah, I feel like this could all actually happen in December itself. But the two cards that I got were the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. And again, I'm going to be reading this intuitively. So with the Three of Wands, what that makes me feel is that I think it's your partner. They are going to be looking at what is there now. Because I think before, they may not have been looking at what was there, and they may have been focusing on what wasn't there, like what the problems were. And now I feel like your partner is ready to move on, ready to rebuild again, like looking at all the potential of the relationship that exists. Before they were looking at what didn't exist, now they're looking at like, wow, there's so much here that we can work with. There's places that we can go. Like, why are we stopping? We need to get a move on. So I feel like they're going to be wanting to rebuild what was there, and I don't feel like it doesn't feel like it's going to be starting over. It doesn't feel like the two of you are starting over. It feels like you're continuing on, but you're continuing on from like a higher place, from a higher level. So it's almost like you're skipping a step and starting from there. So maybe that's why I'm saying like a bigger house. Let's say if you're going to move in, it's like we're beyond that now. Like we're thinking bigger. We're at a different place. We're at a higher level in some way. So I feel like that's really positive. And then I feel like the Two of Wands is basically your partner. I feel like it's your partner again, and them having built with you something special, and they're just looking at it and kind of appreciating what they have, and what they've built is so much bigger than the house that you two imagined. It's a castle. It's the epitome. It's better than what you could have imagined before. So I feel like, man, it's been rough. It's obviously been very rough in this reading, and then also we've been talking in the beginning of this video about just how much you've been going through. But it looks like things have really good potentials to be better. And I really like the Ace of Wands. So that wraps up this reading, Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.